Good morning, students. In the last lecture, we learned about the introductory part of the thermodynamic. Today, we are going to see PV indicator diagram and the work done. Now, what is PV indicator diagram or simply PV diagram? It is nothing but the graph of a system between the pressure and volume. The thermodynamic system goes changes from one state to the another state, from initial state to the final state, but this change can be takes place in different ways. Now it is considered that the amount of work done in the traveling from a state A to the state B is similar, but by using this PV diagram we can show that the amount of work done traveling from A to B in different ways have different amount of work done. So we can prove that the amount of work done are different in different paths from A to B. Now in this diagram we see a system which is in an initial state, P1 V1, and which is denoted by letter A, and it goes to the final state, that is P2 V2, which is denoted by letter B. Now we see that we can go from A to B in three different ways. We can go, our system can change from state A to state B in three different ways. That is from A to B directly, or it can go like this: A to C, C to B, or it can also take A to D, D to B. So in many ways this state A can changes to the state B. Now when we find out the work done in each case is different. So how it takes place? So we explain the path one by one. So the first path is A to B, from direct A to B. What happened in this case? In this case, the pressure decreases. The pressure decreases, but the volume goes on increasing. The volume increases from V1 to V2, but the pressure decreases from P1 to P2, because we know that pressure and volume, they are inversely proportional to each other. If the pressure decreases, the volume must be increasing. So in this case, when the state travel from or state changes from A to B, it covers or it does the work, and this work is nothing but the area under the curve consideration. Okay, so we can say that what is the amount of work done in the path B? In this case, the work done W is equal to, it is equal to the area under the curve ABFE. It is the area ABFE. Okay, so how much amount of work done in the case of path AB? It is equal to the area ABFE, ABF and E. Okay, now we are moving towards the second path, and the second path is ACB. In this case, first of all, this system changes from A to C, and during this change, the pressure remains constant, but the volume increases from V1 to V2. Okay, then after that, after reaching this point C, it goes to the point B, but in this case, the volume remains constant, but the pressure goes on decreasing. So when traveling from A to B, first its volume changes and then its pressure changes. So what is the amount of work done when the system is traveling from A to C and C to B? As the volume is increasing in this case, we can say that the amount of work done in this case is equal to the work done W is equal to, it is P1 multiplied by V2 minus V1, because we know that what is the work done? Work done is nothing but the product of pressure multiplied by change in volume. So what is the volume changes? It is V2 minus V1, it is multiplied by the pressure P1. Now in this case, from when the state travel from C to B, then the volume remains constant. The volume remains constant means the work done is equal to 0. So the work done in this case, when it travel from A to C and C to B, the amount of work done W is equal to P1 V2 minus V1. This is the amount done work do. But this work done is also equal to the area under the consideration. And what is the area? This area is equal to ACFE. So we can also calculate the work done in this case, and what is the work done? It is equal to the area ACFE. ACFE. Okay, this amount of work done when it travel from A to C and C to B. Now we are moving towards the third path, that is A, D, B. Now when this system travel from A to D, what happens? Its pressure decreases, but the volume remains constant, V1. Okay, and if the volume remains constant, the amount of work done in this case is equal to 0. So when the system travel from A to D, the amount of work done is equal to 0. Then it travel from D to B, and when it travel from D to B, the pressure P2 remains constant, but the volume changes from V1 to V2. Okay, so in this case, the amount of work done, that is W3, is equal to, it is equal to P2 into V2 minus V1, that is the change in the volume. Okay, which is equal to the area. But which area? The area DBFE. So as we observe, W1 is nothing but the area ABFE. Okay. Then the work done for the path ACB is equal to area ACFE, and for W3 ADB it is DBFE. Now as the area in each case is different, so we can say that this W1 is not equal to W2, not equal to W3. Okay, so what is the conclusion we can derive from this equation? We can conclude that the work done is depend upon the path through which the system undergo changes. Okay, and it does not depend upon the initial and final state. What is the initial state? What is the final state? The amount of work done during the change does not depend upon the initial and final states. It is depend upon the path through which it reaches the final state. Okay, so in each case the amount of work done will be different. So W1 is not equal to W2, which is not equal to W3. Okay, so now we are moving towards the work done. We are moving towards the work done. In the last lecture, we see that when the system undergoes changes, its volume and pressure changes. Okay. Now, what is the amount of work done, and the work done by the system or work done on the system? Okay, we are going to see here. So Now we can see the work done in two cases, expansion and contraction. Okay, now first of all we see the work done in expansion. When the gas expands, what is the amount of work? Okay, when we free or we allow the gas expand isothermally means its state changes from P1 V1 to P2 V2, but the temperature of the gas remains constant isothermal. So during such type of expansion, what happen, the amount of heat or the amount of internal energy is decreases, so we can say that the amount of heat will be decreased, that is minus Q. Okay, and as the work done or the heat is releases, it cools down, the amount of work done will be positive. So the work done in the case of expansion, it is equal to positive, because as it expand, its volume goes on increasing. As the gas expand, its volume goes on increasing, and when the volume increases, there must be some work done. Okay, so we can say that, consider the initial volume is equal to V1, the final volume is equal to V2. The amount of work done W is equal to P multiplied by V2 minus V1. As we know, the gas is expanding. As the gas expands, the volume changes from V1 to V2, means V2 is greater than V1. Therefore, this term is a positive term, and this positive term means the work done will be positive. Okay, so when the gas expands isothermally, the amount of heat releases, the gas cools down, and the work done will be positive. Okay, the internal energy also goes on decreasing. So in the case of expansion isothermally, the work done will be positive, and this work done is done by the system. Work done by the system. How? The gas exert a pressure on a piston such that the volume of the system get increased. So such work is done by the system on the piston. Okay, so this amount of work is done. Work done by the system. Now we are moving towards the second case, that is contraction. Now, what is contraction? Contraction means when the gas is contract. Okay, when the gas contract, its volume decreases. Its volume decreases means the work done in this case will be negative. So the work done W is equal to negative. And due to the contraction, what happens? The internal energy of the gas increases, and therefore the temperature or the heat also increases. So we can say that the W is equal to positive. So what is the work done? Here the work is done by the piston on the gas, that is the system. Okay, so in this case the work is done on the system. Okay, therefore the volume decreases, and volume decreases means the work done will be negative. Work done will be negative, then this Q must be positive. So we can say that when the work done is positive and when the work done is negative, during the expansion this work done is positive and the work done is done by the system on the surrounding. But in the case of contraction, the work done will be negative and the work done is on the system. Okay, now we are moving towards the third part, that is the internal energy of the system. That is the internal energy of the system. Okay. Now what is internal energy? Internal energy means the energy possessed by the system, or the energy content of a thermodynamic system is known as the internal energy. This internal energy consists of the kinetic energy, potential energy, and the energy due to the motion of nucleus and electrons. So, what is the internal energy of the gas? The internal energy of the gas is the energy which is associated with the system which contain the kinetic energy, potential energy, and the energy due to the motion of electron and nuclei. Now, what is the internal energy? According to the first law of thermodynamics, we can say that this internal energy is equal to, or we can also say that the amount of heat supplied Q is equal to, the amount of heat supply Q is equal to, it is equal to the kinetic energy, that is the change in the internal energy, is U2 minus U1 plus W. Okay. Now it must be remembered that internal energy cannot be calculated directly. We can only calculate the change in the internal energy. So when amount of heat is supplied to the system, that heat is utilized into the change in the internal energy of the gas, as well as to do some work. Okay, now therefore this change U2 minus U1 is equal to Q minus W. So when the heat Q is supplied, then the amount of work done, okay, then what is Q minus W? This amount is equal to the change in the internal energy of the gas. Now what is the internal energy? Internal energy is nothing but the kinetic energy, potential energy, and the energy due to the motion of electron and nuclei. So in this way, today we see the PV indicator diagram, the work done by the system on the system, and we also see the what is internal energy by using the first law of thermodynamics. In the next lecture, we are going to see in detail the first law of thermodynamics, the advantages and the disadvantages of first law of thermodynamics. So this is enough for today. Have a good day. Bye.